All right. So, I was just talking to Austin. Austin had a really dangerous guy in the finals,
Yep.
right? You just had a really dangerous guy in the finals.
Absolutely.
Mr. Assassin himself, Caleb Romani, right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's never caught you in that.
No, I don't know what they call it. The kind of the back arm stuff.
Oh,
that
he does a back hook.
Yeah,
What
he does-
Sadulayev did to Snyder.
Yeah, he does the same thing.
It's a back hook.
Yeah, Romani actually did it before Sadulayev did. So
Yes.
I
No,
call-
he
I
did.
call
You're
that-
right.
I call that the Romani because he actually hit my younger brother in it whenever they wrestled out in Vegas, a freestyle tournament when Trent was in high
He
school.
back hooked the hoagie.
He did. Yeah.
No
that was
way.
back when Trent was at 74 kilos, and it was actually
Those days
funny.
are gone.
It was that match. I lost to Wick at that point, and Trent lost to Mark Hall. And Romani and Trent were wrestling to see who would wrestle me then. And so Romani hit him in the bundle, whatever he calls it, and I ended up wrestling him then. But, I mean, he's dangerous. He's really hard to finish on whenever I get to a high seat, head outside. He's always looking to reach back and grab a head, and so he's a little bit taller than me, so it's not always easy. Ended up getting to a good finish at the end there, just kind of picking him up double leg and get him up in the air.
You're trying to run through him through the one takedown, the double leg in the second period, right?
Yeah.
And he's shifty, he's fighting you with his hips, and he kind of fends you off, but you eventually stick with it.
Yeah.
How hard is it to know the guy's dangerous? Mm-hmm. He's got throws, step overs, back hooks, right?
Yeah.
Romani's, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's really good at dangerous style. I think I've wrestled him now, I want to say 8 times. And he knows me really well. He's been able to keep it close in some matches, but against guys like that, I really need to distance myself. I need to get up early, which I did, and kind of just be smart for the rest of the match. He was real shifty and got a takedown. He kind of ducked me.
That was a sweet duck,
there.
by
It was
the way.
nice,
Yeah.
really nice.
Disappeared a little bit.
Definitely, and so that kind of took away the major, and team point wise, I was like, all right, I got to get this back. I was a little bit pissed off when it happened, so I was able to finish out on a strong note, but just a dangerous guy. I think you're hearing the coaches in the corner, they guide me through a really good game plan. Just take the risk whenever you're in really good position. Like whenever I'm getting off an underhook, I'm getting to a snap. That's whenever I can take my offense. But anytime he's kind of controlling stuff, it's best just to get back to a fighting position on my feet, and I was able to do that pretty well today.
Speaking of pest, the Bonacorsi Hidlay match. Dude, you don't get fired up. You get fired up when your brother wrestles.
Yeah. So
Is that an understatement?
no, he stresses me out a little bit. He doesn't stress me out. Him wrestling stresses me out, and so like I'm really able to stay quiet up until that point. I feel like it's like one of those things where I shouldn't be watching, but I do, and it's like I do it to myself out there. So it's like I stress out way more than he would ever stress out about anything. So I think it's just kind of how it works with us. I mean, we're so close. I see the way he trains, and I know what he can get out of this sport, and to sit there and watch a match like that where it's like he made some mistakes early on, and I just want to like grab him by the headgear and just start screaming, but it's like I would never do that anytime else. I really, it's like a huge flaw of mine that I wish I could figure out, is trying to stay calm during his matches, but I haven't been able to now. So
That's how your coaches feel, by the way. That's how dads feel, by the way. You have no control, right?
no, you don't, and no matter how much I scream, my go-to is like if things get too stressful, just sit there, cross your arms, just breathe. And the thing that I hate the most about that situation is I know my coaches are saying the right things to him, but it's like for me I should just keep my mouth shut because I'm not the one in the corner. I'm not the one telling him how to wrestle. For me, I should keep my mouth shut, but I don't. And
You get fired up, man.
yeah, absolutely.
Not when you wrestle, though. You're right. You're flat line, man. You're super calm.
It's easier for me to do it. I don't know why. It's
Because
easier.
you don't have control over him. That's probably it, right?
about
Like
right.
dads and coaches.
Yeah, I should probably see a psychologist about it or something. But
Okay. Deacon rematch,
yeah,
right? Deacon was in Vegas. Got you pretty good.
he did. Deacon is a Vegas guy. He shows up in Vegas. I know he's going to show up in March, too, so I feel like I'm peaking at the right time, though. I don't feel like my best wrestling was in December. But, man, I've toed the line, and I learned what I need to figure out. And he's gone through the gauntlet. I've gone through the gauntlet. We haven't been beaten. Obviously, I'd love to wrestle the guy. I think the way it turns out, it's probably going to be him one, me two. And so that's a long way to look at things. I know I'm going to have a really good match in the semis, quarters, and so I look in front of me. I'm not too
One at a time?
focused. Yeah, I mean, it's a cliche, but we work on stuff all year. I mean, you work on stuff to beat a guy like Deacon, but you don't need to stress out over every single second of the day. You got to keep your eyes on who's coming, because all these guys are going to try to take my head off. Round of 32, round of 16, quarters. All those guys would love to take me out, and I got to be prepared to give it my 100 against those guys too, which I think I've done a really good job the past few years. I feel like I've really had a great mentality leading up to NCAAs, and the way I'm able to conduct myself NCAAs, I feel like I've wrestled the best at that tournament. My freshman year obviously didn't go all that well in the finals, but up until that point, I wrestled really well. And I felt like I wrestled really well last year, just kind of ran into a few buzzsaws and learned a lot from that. But
let's talk about learning. Last year's semifinals. You won. I think you did.
If I would have had more points on the board, I would have felt like I won. Like, it doesn't feel like I won.
I feel like you won, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, people think
everybody
that way.
felt that way, right? Like,
Yeah,
but hey, Jason Nels's a competitor, man.
Yeah,
he's a winner.
He did. He won that match, and it's like I put together the best match I think I possibly could have put, but I mean, you still learn from that. I know my time's coming. I believe in it every day I go in, whether it's a no flosses or Deacon beats me. I believe my time is coming, and you know, if you don't walk into the mat room with that kind of mindset every day, then I don't know what you're doing in the sport. I think I've probably the most prepared guy coming into this NCAA tournament. I feel like I wrestled the best guy in the whole country both years. Doesn't matter what weight class. I've wrestled Dolph. He was easily top 3 guy, pound for pound. So I feel like I'm prepared. I'm ready to make that jump. But again, one guy, you know, whoever's coming next, I got to focus on that guy. I got to focus on beating him, and then we'll prepare for the next guy.
Looks like you can win the team title here.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Pretty sweet, right?
I was hoping I could clinch it outright, but I don't think. I mean, they're
still
still
gotta
mathematically.
Your brother's got to win.
I'm not sure. I think they said that we were up by 10.
So, okay, all right.
And so they would have to pin twice to tie us.
Okay, but the year though, 15-0, gonna win the ACC. 4 teams ranked in the top 10 out of 6. What's it say about this conference?
It's a tough conference, without a doubt, and this program's doing the right things. I think when you're able to run through that conference unblemished, you're able to run through this tournament, hopefully with a team title. I mean, it's a really tough conference. It's concentrated, small. We know that. I know I've seen some trolls on Twitter saying the ACC is the best wrestling conference just because the amount of qualifiers we get every year, like compared to how many
per capita.
Per capita.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was a hell of a conference, and we were able to wrestle our best throughout the year, and you know, took some lumps here and there. Going to individual tournaments is tough, but you know, we wrestled really well.
All right, you got anything else for me?
Go Pack, baby. It's a great night to be part of the Wolfpack.
Thanks for the time. Congratulations. I'll see you in Minnesota.
Thanks so much, though.